Hello and welcome to another edition of the Formula One Fans UK podcast. I'm Reese and I'm joined today by
Danny.
Chris.
Another quality introduction there, boys.
We'll get it right. We'll get it right one day.
We were waiting for you.
We'll get it right one day. Until then, you'll worked out from the mess that it's Chris, Danny, and Dan.
Yes.
Surprise, surprise, no Tim. Can we say we're surprised? Not really.
Tim's done like 3 podcasts out of like 18. I'm not surprised right now. And to be fair, every time we rip him in a podcast, he don't say shit. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a word.
He does. It's just I have to deal with it. So anyway, we're here today to do the silly season. What we've all done is we've all wrote down our predictions. We've combined those predictions to get our predicted lineup for next season as a podcast. Just running through the confirmed seats next season. Already confirmed is Alonso and Ocon in Alpine, Vettel in Aston Martin, Ferrari with Leclerc and Sainz, Haas with Mazepin and Schumacher, McLaren with Norris and Ricciardo, Mercedes with Hamilton, and Red Bull with Verstappen. So, guys, we'll get into it. We'll start. I think we'll fill in the blanks of the teams that have got just one seat available.
Well, can I just say, I don't think McLaren is confirmed. I think their second seat.
We don't give a shit. It's not why we're doing this.
I'm just saying. I think their second seat is up for grabs.
But who's the second seat though?
Ricciardo's.
Don't even get into it. We ain't got time.
Exactly.
We ain't got time. Well, we'll start off with destruction then with one of the drivers we all agreed on, Aston Martin, Lance Stroll taking that second seat. Is there any doubt to that really? It's
a given. Daddy owns the team. I want to drive a race car, go fast, Daddy. There you go, son. Enjoy. Go play with Seb. That's it.
Okay, so on that one, I'm going to say I am 60-40. I'm 60% he will come back and have that seat, but I'm 40% convinced that Stroll will retire and will work at the team in another capacity. I think he has all the money in the world that he needs. He did Formula One things for a couple of years.
When you say Stroll will retire, do you mean Lance or Lawrence?
Lance. No, Lance.
Is it Lance?
Really?
Yes. At that young age of 24, 25 years old, I think he'll be done.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But I mean, Lance Stroll's only 22. You're saying he's going to retire at 22?
Yeah. After next year. I have a feeling, just to add to the silly season.
Yeah, but let's be honest, you're wearing a t-shirt that doesn't make sense.
Danny is wearing a Barcelona shirt, but it's not Barcelona as everyone knows it.
Football shirt.
It's Barcelona in Ecuador. So if you're listening in Ecuador, hello.
Yeah.
Is it like
my mom took
some Ecuadorian knockoff from the Looky Man, like from the beach?
No,
No,
guys, look at it. No, look. I'm online right now.
Yeah, but the fact is, they stole Barcelona's badge.
They'll listen to me.
And there goes all our listeners in Ecuador.
No, there is a Barcelona in Ecuador. It's based in Guayaquil, which is my mom's home city. By the beaches. It's legit.
Yeah, as legit as your Stroll prediction.
More
Yeah.
It's silly season.
Danny's weird shirt and weird prediction for Lance Stroll. We'll move on to another blank and a driver we pretty much all agreed on, apart from Tim, who's not here to defend himself, with Red Bull and Perez. We've all got Perez keeping the seat.
Yeah. He's got to be given a second season. He hasn't done a lot wrong to not get the seat, to be fair. He's done more right than wrong.
Yeah, his bad results are more a fault of others than himself, in my opinion. I think he got a...
And at the end of the day, Red Bull are competing for the first time in a long time for the constructors. And they're not doing that on just one driver's results.
Okay, ready for the silly season here?
Oh, God.
Fernando Alonso will sign with Red Bull Racing. Will break his contract with Renault.
Oh,
will be the second. He'll take the second driver.
Danny, I'm going to tell you one time and one time only. No more day drinking, okay? Because you come on these podcasts drunk, it's enough.
It's hard, mate.
No drinking. It's just adds to the silly season.
Why would he
Alonso
launch
to Rebel
it
Racing.
with a Red Bull?
We're going through what we've already predicted, and then you go, nah, f it, Alonso.
Yeah. Danny's just throwing it left, right, and centre.
Alonso's, well, no, we know Perez is going to Red Bull. He's going to have a second seat. He's going to have a second year with them. He's doing an excellent year, but I just say, after looking at Hungary, I don't know. I just feel Alonso should have been in that second Red Bull seat.
Why?
Yeah, maybe 20 years ago. But obviously, Perez brings a lot of money in.
Yeah.
He brings a lot of money in, and we know that Marco doesn't chuck anyone out at the end of a season. He waits till the middle. So we've got until at least 10 races in to figure out if they're going to bin him off.
You're just being silly. I know it's silly season, but you're just being silly.
That one's an 80-20.
We'll quickly take a break from our silly season predictions. Just to say, this podcast is once again sponsored by Apex Tracks. For all your 3D printed track wall art, go to apextracks.com. That's APEXTRAXS.com. And back to our silly season predictions. Alfa Romeo, we had to do a poll in our group to split the tie here because somehow we ended up with a tie amongst the lineups. And we've got the seats going to Antonio Giovinazzi and Callum Ilott.
Giovinazzi has not done anything to retain that seat. Even Raikkonen's done better than him, so why would you keep him on? Callum Ilott, I think, is a shoe-in, but I still think the Schwartzman has got a shot of being in there. Two youthful drivers, both doing well GP2. That's what I think anyway.
To be fair, right, I went for Nissany, but thinking about it, Callum Ilott is actually a good shout, to be fair, but I'll obviously going against what Chris said about he's not really done a lot. I think if you are going to bring an F2 driver up, you need to keep your current F1 driver for at least one more season. You don't want to be changed. You don't want two new fresh drivers in. We've seen what that's done to Haas. It's not really done anything. I know the car in the first place, but I think not having anybody to direct that second driver that's coming up from F2, I think it's a bad decision.
To play devil's advocate on that statement there, Danny, Toro Rosso did it though with Sainz and Verstappen, and that worked very well, really. I mean, sure, Verstappen crashed a fair bit, but rookies do, and Sainz was mostly hindered by unreliability.
Yeah.
I think it can work, but I feel that it makes sense in the sense of Alfa Romeo or Sauber to keep one driver and bring a new guy in, and Ilott should be that guy, waiting in the wings for a year, and he's perfectly talented, nothing better than anything in the Ferrari Junior programs in the lower formulas.
Well, I really, with Alfa, I'm just going to keep it short. I do think Giovinazzi stays in that team. There's no other exciting option that can join into Alfa Romeo. They might pick up an F2 driver, but it'll be Giovinazzi with the F2 driver or a driver like Kvyat, for example, who has...
Kvyat was on the cusp. He was the one in the tiebreaker vote.
Yeah, so I put Kvyat down. I can see that happening as well. He does have experience. He's a little older, more mature. He could run a team. Could be Bottas in there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Kvyat still a Red Bull driver?
No, he's a Ferrari reserve. Oh no, he's Alpine's reserve. He's Alpine's reserve even.
I had Dan mentioned Nissany there, or as they call it with Silverstone, Nissany. I've got him down as a Williams because he's Williams reserve driver.
Yeah, he's Williams reserve driver. But we'll move on to Williams. And someone mentioned the word Bottas. So, first of all, the one we were all unanimous on was Latifi keeping his seat. But his teammate, we've got his teammate down as being Valtteri Bottas.
I've got three down for that. I've got Bottas, Jack Aitken, or Nissany. I couldn't quite make my mind up.
I don't think there's a way that Bottas goes back to Williams. I just think on a personal level, not even a professional level, that is a massive... Okay, yeah, you're still in F1, but it's like going from playing for Manchester United and then going and joining Portsmouth because they've joined into the Premiership. It's It's not a good move.
I think Bottas will retire.
No, he's got racing in him. I don't think he's ever going to be out for a while. I think he's going to end up in maybe Lewis feels sorry and puts him in his Extreme E series. Who knows?
It's always a career in cycling, apparently. He did quite well in that in the summer break.
Came second again. Great effort by him. One question I do have about Williams, though, is where will Latifi go? Is that money not going to be used up anymore?
But we've got Latifi in the car. It's
that's
it's
right.
Bottas and Latifi.
Yeah, I think he does stay. Purely, to be fair, purely on what Danny said last time. It's not about the paid drivers buying their seats. It's about what that money can do for the structure of the team, for development, equipment, all that sort of stuff.
It's more sustainability now with the budget caps. If you're bringing in money, you've got more sustainability. The team's got to generate less revenue itself with a pay driver.
Well, exactly, yeah.
There's not such. I think this will also eke some pay drivers out of Formula One because they won't be in such high need. If you're a team that can generate that 200 million or whatever it is, you won't need a pay driver. But a lot of teams, they do need that extra pay driver. We've got 2 teams left, guys.
Hold on. I've got one. There was just one other one that I was thinking about for Williams. I know I've already got 3. But Jimmy Chadwick.
As much as it'd be great, and probably you can see it as a test role, in the actual Grand Prix lineup, there's no way I see that happening just yet. It's a shame, because it would be great, but...
Yeah, that, it isn't undoable. But
it was just one to throw out there because she is a Williams connected driver.
Yeah, I could see having a proper test role like Susie Wolf had once, but I don't see the Grand Prix seat being hers.
Yeah. So isn't she in the W series though?
Yeah, but that's just a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, right? I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I've been at Creeley theme park in Somerset, Devon today with the kids, and I struck up a conversation with a nice lady, which was convinced that our ride operator looked like George Russell. And to be fair, he did if you had 10 pints and wore glasses. So I struck up the conversation with her, and we went through the silly season seats and all this sort of stuff. And she brought up that same thing. There have been 0 women in F1, and I was like, yeah, but now they've given them the W series. What do you think about some of them progressing through from the W series to the reserve driver to F1 driver? And she was like,
there's a chance.
But she was like, to be fair, right, I don't know many women that watch Formula One, but this lady was absolutely buzzing that there was a W series. She didn't see it as like a lesser series or just some sort of token series. She was genuinely impressed with what they were doing and was genuinely hopeful that we were going to see basically the W series as F4 and then they progress up. And I was like, not bad. Then we had a bit of George Russell banter, and then she peeved me off by saying that she thinks Bottas is better than Lewis. So we stopped the conversation there, and I let her go about her business, and I just let her go on.
She was doing so well until she said that to you. I see what you mean with the W series being a stepping stone, but for me, I think if someone's going to go from W series straight into F1, they've got to dominate. I mean, like full on Sebastian Vettel 2013 domination, that there's no one anywhere near touching them and they're light years ahead of everyone else.
She's not far off that, to be honest.
She's not, but Alice Powell's doing quite well as well, though. I feel you just need...
If we're looking at Latifi because he's in there for money, then out of those drivers that are going to bring the most money, I wonder which one it will be, because first female driver in the team is going to bring a shitload of money into the team. Not through their sponsorship, but it's going to be through their...
But the thing is, Latifi's backing is up there with Lawrence Stroll levels of rich.
Yeah, but what I mean is bringing it in through merchandising.
Endorsements and
through fan
advertising.
support for a female driver.
I just don't think you can touch the money that Latifi brings in. Like, I don't think you can get close to that. We'll move on, shall we, to the 2 teams left. We'll go with AlphaTauri. Gasly keeping his seat. I think is a no-brainer. But the other one, we have put all our answers together, and the most common one was Juri Vips.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think he would be a great addition to F1. I think he's more ready than some of the ones we plucked this year from F2. But, I personally went with keeping Tsunoda because I don't know, something tells me, although we didn't put it down, that I reckon Gasly's going to end up somewhere different. Like, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I just put Tsunoda and Vips.
No, Chris, not McLaren.
I think he'll end up in McLaren.
Chris, put a bet on it, please. Just put a bet on it and then never bring it up again. And if you do get it right, you can lord it down from your yacht or whatever, or your private plane, fly over all our houses, calling us dumbasses, flipping us off out the window.
But he'd do that with zero money anyway. He'd just do it being rich.
But Gasly has got the quality and would make an amazing lineup with Norris. And maybe do what Danny Rick
Ricciardo
is.
has got that quality.
He has, but he isn't
we've
showing
seen it in
it.
second seasons as well.
He isn't
We've
showing it.
seen this in the first season at Renault. He didn't show it. But in second season at Renault, he came on leaps and bounds and was getting the podium.
He didn't really
and
come
was
on
completely
leaps
out
and
driving
bounds.
knock-on.
He got a podium.
He did.
A
Compared to
podium.
what it was.
No. 2 podium and a 4th place in Spa. He had a really strong running the second half of the season. When it started, he had a really strong showing in Renault.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have stayed at Renault for another year. I think he should have switched to Alpine, but that's a different story.
I think his mistake was leaving.
Yeah, if you look at how much he's being dominated by his teammate, and if I was McLaren, I'd be looking at bloody Gasly. Because he's going to be sitting there and getting uncomfortable in that seat. He's going to have an itchy bum, and he's going to want out of that seat.
I think 2023 is Gasly's last season in the Red Bull program, unless he gets his promotion back.
If he stays
then
there,
I can see a move elsewhere.
I don't think he would take it, even if they offered it to him. I genuinely believe that. After the way that they done him dirty and whipped him out mid-season and put Alex Albon in, and that worked out great for Alex Albon, didn't it? Well done, Red Bull. I don't think he would go back.
If I can just bring up who I thought was going to get that second Red Bull seat, or AlphaTauri seat, I had Liam Lawson, who doing bits in junior formula, and is also racing in DTM. And in DTM, he's up against Alex Albon. And on track, he is beating Alex Albon.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if Liam Lawson gets that seat. That was my thinking behind that. But we've gone for Juri Vips, and to be honest, I can't argue too much against that either. I think he's a tremendous young driver.
I don't know. I don't think it's wise to take anybody that hasn't even been in like Formula 2, Formula 3 for for at least a few years.
Max Verstappen got taken straight from Formula 3.
He's a generational talent.
Exactly. It's well, that's one word for him. But we won't choose the other because it involves Reese using his beat button. But no, I don't know. I would love to see, and I know this sounds like a bit stupid, but I would love to see like Lewis go, like Ricciardo give it up, Verstappen go, all these ones that have been in it for a few years, and just fill a driver lineup of just F2, F3 drivers, and just see who can do their thing. Just literally just go at it. Just see.
Is that not just what Formula 2 is? Yeah.
No, but
put them in a Formula 1 car.
Formula 1 cars are the Formula 1 cars are so different to the Formula 2, Formula 3 cars that
they're only 4 seconds.
I think it would be amazing.
Some of these
Four seconds lap and-
from a Mazepin lap maybe, Chris, but the rest of them
Yeah,
are. I mean, it's 4 seconds is probably the gap between Mazepin and Hamilton in Spa.
Oh, that's a
That'll be
prediction.
interesting.
Early
Do you want to put a
prediction.
bet on that? Do you want to put a bet on that?
I think I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 107%. Especially if it's in the wet, I wouldn't be surprised if you see 107% real
If
happen.
it's in the wet, I see that.
1.8 seconds. 1.8 seconds.
You're saying 1.8 from
I would say
from
1.8. In
Mazepin.
qualifying, it'll be 1.8 seconds.
What, from Hamilton to Mazepin's fastest time?
Yeah.
I reckon.
Well, so let's say, obviously he may not get out of Q1, so the Q1 times will be about 1.8 seconds.
No, I'm going for I'm going for Hamilton's fastest time being 4 seconds faster by the end of qualifying.
Still can't say it'll be 4 seconds.
Hold on, we got to clear something out. His Q3 time, Hamilton's Q3 time will be 4 seconds faster than Mazepin. But I would say compare the Q1 times.
Providing he gets there, yeah. Touch wood that he gets there. Yeah.
To be fair, I think Mazepin doesn't even make it into quali. I think man dips it into the wall in P3 and he's done. That's it.
That's a Schumacher move, that one, mate.
They should know better by now.
He's had enough now of making Mazepin look good, so he's going to let Mazepin take back over of looking like a dickhead and put it into the wall.
It all depends. If Netflix are in their pit box for that weekend, then yeah, that'll happen. It only happens whenever Netflix are around.
We'll move on to our final seat, and you've probably worked it out listening that it is the Mercedes seat, partnering with Lewis Hamilton, and it is George Russell. None of us took any convincing on that. I think we're all firmly in the Bottas has had his moment in the sun, and it's setting, and it's now George's turn.
Mm-hmm.
One name, Nick de Vries.
Okay, where's he going?
What, George Russell is out of F1 then?
Nick de Vries may go in as a reserve driver.
Reserve. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nick de Vries needs to be on this grid somewhere, even if it's as a reserve driver for a year or two. And I think it'll be a reserve driver
I agree with
Mercedes.
That. I mean, yeah, let's give some credit, though, to Nick de Vries for winning Formula Nissan Leaf. It's...
You call it that. That last couple of races were brilliant. You just have to imagine they're going for him in your ears. Stick one of those CDs on in the background with noises. But the last couple of races were brilliant. The three championship contenders took themselves out within a couple of laps. It's just, it was unheard of.
That just screams lack of talent.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Doesn't it scream
you obviously
quality? That
don't
screams
watch
lack
it.
of talent if you're into the...
You obviously don't watch it, so, you've got no opinion.
Right, I have watched quite a few Formula E races, but it's the noise. It sounds like we're watching a scene when it's going really fast, and I don't like it.
To me, it's the crash.
That's not something that we're going to be able to help soon. That is the future.
Can we get back to George Russell?
Okay, right. I want to get back to George Russell because I feel, as a F1 community, if we just keep saying it enough, eventually we're just going to will it into existence. George will be at Mercedes.
Shall we just go round in a circle and just keep saying it, chant it?
That's it. I'm with that. I'm down for that.
Russell's going to Mercedes.
Russell's going to Mercedes.
Yeah, Russell's going to Mercedes. That's a given.
Definitely going to Mercedes, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Russell's going to Mercedes.
Yeah, he's going to Mercedes.
I'm not participating in this anymore. No, it's done.
Yeah, Nick de Vries, though, I think deserves a spot as a run as the reserve driver and get into that second seat for a couple of practice sessions. I think he needs to be rewarded for taking that title. And I believe it's either this year or next year that Mercedes are pulling out of Formula E.
This year.
So he will be looking for a seat.
I think his reward is he should get a proper car with a proper engine. Then we don't have to imagine the noises. How about that?
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. Oh no, there's a crash, and I didn't even hear anything.
I hear
I
crunch.
listen to F1 now, and all I hear is noise from 10 years ago.
So if you're Nick, so Formula E, Mercedes pulling out, that leaves Stoffel Van Dorn, Esteban Gutierrez, Nick De Vries. Anyone else know how to drive?
Gutierrez is a test driver.
Was never had a drive.
Yeah, he's a test driver. He's a simulation driver.
He was in it the season. He was in it the season before as well.
Yeah.
Was he not in Formula E?
Yeah, no, it's Nick De Vries and Van Dorn.
So we'll wrap up the podcast with what happens next for Van Dorn and what happens next for Nick De Vries. I mean, we say Mercedes reserve, but if you want to keep him race sharp, where do you stick him?
DTM.
He's questionable for another as potentially a Williams driver.
Yeah. Do you see?
I know we got a lot.
Where do you see Stoffel going?
If Stoffel, if De Vries doesn't get the reserve driver spot at Mercedes, then it could be Stoffel.
Assuming he does.
Assuming he does, he's up for a Williams seat. Stoffel's got experience, and
what you think Williams reserve then? I don't see him getting
not Williams reserve.
Williams ahead of Bottas or Latifi or Kvyat or whoever.
If Bottas doesn't take that Williams seat, then Van Dorn could slip in there. He could be placed by Mercedes into there.
Yeah.
You can also see Button go to Alpha. Bottas going to Alpha, and then Williams signing De Vries or Van Dorn.
Yeah.
And keep Latifi.
It's all up in the air, and I guess that's why it's the silly season.
Silly season.
Yeah, but just once again, George is going to Mercedes, so it's all fine.
George is going to Mercedes.
I don't care who goes to what other seat. I want to see George and Lewis, and I want to see it next season. So come on, Toto and Mercedes, sort your out, because he's wasted.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Formula One Fans UK podcast. If you've enjoyed what you've listened to, by all means follow us on our socials. A link to that is in the bio of all our podcasts, so you'll always be able to find that quite easily. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you later, guys.
Cheerio, guys. Vroom, vroom.